Welcome back everyone to another session. We are continuing our theme where we left off last time with graphics. We're going to continue this time, but this time we're going to do it a slightly different way. We're going to really go sort of almost freestyle into my account of Canva, and we'll look at some images that I've created, whether it's a Facebook images or YouTube thumbnails, product images, book covers, all sorts of different things. And I'll show you how these were created. So this is a kind of backwards tutorial, if you like, rather than the usual stuff where we start with a blank sheet or blank canvas and then build from there. This time we're actually going to start with the finished image, and I'm just going to show you kind of the basics of how it all works. Now, of course, Canva is not the only game in town. There are other resources out there, some of which we've put in the PDF resources and tools download that you can get. If you haven't got that yet, go to the resource page for Build a Profitable Online Business. You'll find a link there below in the description. And that's something that we're updating all the time with the stuff that I recommend or that I use, but also with members' suggestions of the Facebook group as well. So if you've got an alternative to some of the tools that we're using, please do post in the Facebook group, and we can include that for everyone in the tools and resources PDF. So with that said, let's go ahead and switch over to the web. All right, so what we've got here is Canva. And like I said, there are other alternatives. There's like Get Stencil, there is PicMonkey, there's lots of these things, right? This is the one that I choose to use myself. I really like it. I know my way around pretty well. And although, as I said last time, I'm not a graphic designer by any stretch. I don't do this all day, day in, day out. I have no real formal training or aptitude even for graphic design. What I find is that I can use Canva to get pretty good images done for my business, and those images go onto web pages which convert at a very good rate. So whether that's people opting in to my list, whether it's people buying products, whether it's people seeing ads, that's the main thing. Okay, so yes, all of the stuff I'm about to show you, you could do it miles better probably by commissioning an expert graphic designer. We talked about last time, if you want to go down that route, that's terrific. It's a good option. I do that sometimes as well. But I'm going to show you the do-it-yourself way of doing it. And then it's up to you, right? You can make a decision for what's right for you and your business. So the first thing really with Canva is that it's completely free. There's a free tier to Canva. So you can go along to Canva, sign up just with your email address and create a free account. And you can do quite a lot with that. I would certainly recommend that if you haven't got a Canva account yet, get one and try it. Just use the free account. Don't pay any money. And then if you like it and you continue and you're using it quite a bit, if you then start to see where the limitations are, maybe you need some extra elements or you need to use a certain tool that's only available on the premium or pro tier of their pricing, then you can consider upgrading and actually paying for it. So it's a good way, it's a freemium model essentially, so you can go in and try it, see if you like it, and if you do, only upgrade when you're really going to use it. And if you remember when we talked about tools a while back in a previous session, that's what we said. Only really pay for stuff or get things when you're ready to actually use them. So, by the way, I have a pro account, which I can't remember how much it is. It's about like $120 a year. So it's virtually nothing. It's it's extremely good value. So it's, that's it. It's a great tool to have. So let's go in and have a look. Now, the first thing you can do is just search for things. So if you wanted to create a logo, for example, they have lots of different elements that you can use. And you can quite simply just go down here and pick something that you like. All right. So I could pick let's have a look, this one. All right, and what I can then do is start customizing it. So I could change Holly's to Rob's. I could put in, let's have a look down here, change the date, the year I was born, very hot summer. I could do things like that. All right, I can even change the background if I wanted to a red, or I can pick another color up here. So this is very intuitive stuff, and the templates that Canva has, if we go back to the home page, there's all sorts of stuff. So you can click over on templates on the left hand side, but you can see here there's Facebook posts, Instagram, so all the social media stuff covers your Facebook page or group if you wanted to start one of those. YouTube thumbnails, cards, logos we've just looked at, all sorts of stuff, really, infographics as well. So always what I like to do is most of my images I have designed from scratch, and I'm going to show you that process in a moment. But I always look at the templates for ideas and inspiration, because I'm not a graphic designer. So I don't have like a massive library in my head and all the knowledge of how to create brilliant images. So looking at examples is really, really good. Building a swipe file of marketing examples is also a great thing to do as well. I have a big file on my computer in Dropbox where I have lots of other ideas, so I can always refer to those and to the templates and look around basically in the world, online world, and see what's already being done, and then get ideas and use that, and then create something unique myself. So those are the ways that you can use the existing templates. Use them directly, or like I do, mainly use them for inspiration. Now with that said, let's go into my designs. So these are some of the ones that I've got in my account, okay, including this new one that we've just designed in about 3 seconds. What I want to do is just click into a few of these and just kind of reverse engineer them and show you how they were created and how you could possibly create something similar yourself. Now, if you're using Canva, or should I say if you're using a different tool to Canva, the process will be pretty much the same. It's like, if you remember when we talked about page builders, I showed you Thrive Architect. We might go back to that actually in a future session when we look at sales pages and get into the product side and marketing side a bit more. But that's just the tool I use, right? If you use something else like Elementor or whatever you use, it's going to be pretty broadly the same. Things will be in a different place, but it's the same overall kind of workflow and process. Same with this. So let's, to start off with, go into this book cover. All right. So this is just a book cover that I've used. All right. You've probably seen it as well. It's on a few of the pages associated with this course. It's a free opt-in. So it's a lead generation free email opt-in page, like we did a session dedicated to that, if you remember. And what we can do is just have a look. So the first thing I did is actually, this is one of the exceptions where I based it on a template that was in Canva. So if we just add a new page down here, I think what I did was I just searched over here. If we go into templates up here at the top, I search for yellow book. I suspect we might find it down here somewhere, hopefully. Let's keep going down. There we go. So you can see there's an awful lot of book covers, with all of the templates and elements within Canva that are free. This is a free one. So with a free account, you can create this. So all you do is you just click on there and it opens up this template. And then if you look at the one at the top, you can see what I've done, right? All I've done is just clicked in and changed the wording. In a few places, I've also changed the size of the font. So up here, for example, if we copy that, I'm going to do Control C, come down here, and we'll copy that in, and then all I've done is just kind of sized it up, right? So just increased the size a bit and then repositioned it. So it's as simple as that. And there are so many templates here, so all you've got to do is pick the regular style, and you can come down and create that yourself. If you want to change things more, then you can, right? So say you like the broad, or you didn't like the color scheme, then you can change it. All right, so we can change that. That's going to look horrendous, but you get the idea, right? So I can go in and start changing all of these elements if I want to, and customize it. So that's basically a book cover, and there's so many templates here that you can do that. So if you're using if you're selling a book either for a low cost, or you're giving a book away, like in this example that I'm doing, in return for an email address, then it's very easy to do a graphical representation of that book. Really good, very, very powerful, and increases your conversions. Now let's have a look at something else. How about some YouTube thumbnails? So I don't do a lot on YouTube. This course is actually the first real attention I've paid to it, apart from uploading a few odd videos and using it really just as a hosting platform over time. But here are some YouTube thumbnails that I created over time. So let's have a look at what's going on here. First of all, I've got an image. Now this is an image of me, obviously looking in one direction. It's the same image I've used for this course. And this is a powerful thing to do. If you can do this with an image of yourself or a stock image from one of the photo sites that we looked at before last session, and they can, if you got someone looking actually at the message, that's very, very powerful. So all I have done here, essentially, if we decompose this, I can duplicate the page so we can mess around with it without messing the main thing up, is essentially we've got a rectangle here, okay, just there, and that comes from the elements section. If you're looking down here, we've got shapes. All right, so all I have done is just dragged, if I delete this one, I've dragged a shape in like this, and then changed the color, and then kind of made it a bit larger and put this over the side. Okay, now that's actually covering the little logo at the bottom, so I can change the position, I can send that backwards. Okay, so it's beneath this image here. And that's the other thing with Canva and all these tools, is it's like with a canvas, you know, you might paint the sea first of all, then you might put another layer on, which is the sky, then some lands, then some palm trees, and all of these are independent, and they can be on top of each other or beneath each other, and you can change the order of it so it all looks right. Then this is just standard text. Okay, so this is the font up here, just typed it in, and that's it. It's pretty straightforward. So if you wanted to do something else, what you could do is you could let's see if we can do this. So if we go to, let's say, yeah, let's try this. Right, so if we strip this right back, okay, so this is just literally a picture that I've uploaded. So you can take a picture of yourself on your phone if you like, if you want to do that, and you can upload it. And this has obviously got a background screen to it in the picture. But one thing you can do is you can change that. You can change the background. So if I went to this picture, and I'll just show you where it is. If you just go to upload, you can upload anything you want, including images from the sites that we talked about last time. So you can see this is it, basically, it's down here, right? Now once it's uploaded, I could click on it and go to Effects and click on Background Remover. Now this usually takes a little bit of time, and I think it's actually a feature that's only available in one of the paid accounts. But what that does, as you can see, is take the background out. So we could go to background now, hopefully, and if we click on a pattern like one of these, let's see, we've now got a wall. In fact, what we can do, I think because of the way this one's created, so if we bring this back in, all right, and position this up here, let's make this a bit larger like that, and then what we'll do is take the background out. Let's see if this works. And obviously this again will probably look terrible because it's maybe a wall was the back wrong thing, but there you go. So now look, you can try this. So just take a photo of yourself with your phone, come into Canva, put up a background, maybe it's a wall or something else, right? And then you can strip out and you can superimpose yourself on that wall. Now something else you might like to do is to adjust the effect. So to make this a little bit more stand out, basically, one thing which is quite good is to, on the blur, obviously if I go like that it's going to blur me, but give it some negative blur. So it sharpens the image a bit. We can increase the saturation a little bit of contrast. Can you see the difference that makes? Maybe I've gone a bit over the top, but you can quite easily see how you can fiddle with that. And then you can come in, and I'm looking over here, so we could actually go in, get one of these shapes again, just like we did before, okay? And you can put that down there, bring that down, change the color, maybe let's give it a darker color like we did before, or we could pick something else. And then you can put some text on. Now with text, if you click on text, you've got the standard headings you can use if you want to. And if you drag one of these in, you can change the font to anything you like. All right, and there's loads of fonts in here, so it's great. All right, but another thing, what I was saying earlier about using templates to actually get inspiration from, so you can go through and look at these text templates. So if you come down and see a font that you like, all right, so maybe let's say we like this one, all right, now I can click on that, bring it on like that, and then check this font at the top. All right, so this is KNE Wave, I think. So we could get rid of that, all right, and bring in some other text, bring in a standard text maybe, and change that. So, oh, let's have a look, knee wave, there we go. So Rob's new training, and you can start doing that. So that's an example. So it's really helpful to see the templates and the elements and the book covers and the text and the fonts and everything in context rather than just in a list. So that's something I'd really encourage you to do. So you can also make this transparent. So if we wanted to add some transparency to that, we can allow the wall to show through a bit. All right, maybe we do want to change the color, I don't know. So you could do something like that if you wanted to. It's really up to you. These are very rough, but you can start to see how these images are created. So let's just check back in. Is this all making sense so far? Let me know in the chat, please, if this is being useful for you. We've got some more examples to go through in a moment. There's a bit of a delay there, so let's crack on and have a look at something else. So if we go back into our account, that's fine. What else can we do? Well, obviously logos. You can see actually this logo here is one that I use on my website. I probably will get this redesigned professionally at some stage, but I haven't managed to get around to it yet. But you can see that on my main website. So you, again, imagine this is your website, right? I'm just showing you examples from my business, but imagine this is you. There it is right at the top. Okay, and that's just designed here. So I'm using an Oswald font, two colors here. We've got a Remo secondary font down there, which matches the font that I use as the body copy on my website. That's Oswald as well, and just different colors. Very, very simple. So to get that out of Canva, all you do, publish, download. You probably want a transparent background so you can put it on any color you like and it will just appear, and you just click download and that's it. So very, very straightforward. Let me show you something else. If we go to this one, all right. Now this one we've seen before. I think we showed an example of where this is used on a webinar opt-in or an on-demand video training that I've got online. So the way I did this, again, I mean, this is just a particular font up here. It's just a piece of text. The unregistered trademark symbol up here. And then these corners, well, these are other elements. And the elements are really interesting in Canva. So you can see, we've seen a few, like the rectangle is one you use quite a lot. But if you search for something like corner, then you can find what I've used here. So again, this is a free. So you'll be able to do something like this completely with a free Canva account. That's very big, so we can change it basically like that. Change the color. And that's all it is. So that little corner piece there, that's just these corners, all right? And you can obviously rotate that to do the other one. So it's as simple as that. And then what you can then do is download this as an image file and then use it elsewhere. So for example, if we go on to looking at a Facebook ad this time, have a look at these. So look, there's that logo, the minimalist method. So what I did was create that logo, the minimalist method, inside Canva. I downloaded it and then re-uploaded it to my uploads. And if we look in here, we should be able to find it. There it is. Okay, so that's there for me to use whenever I want to, as is my logo and other images I have. And then I've created yet another image with that. Now this is a photo, an old photo of me, like we talked about last time. So lifestyle photos can be very, very effective, much more so sometimes than formal photos. So don't think paying for an expensive photo shoot is necessarily going to work better. It may do, depending on your market. If you're a lawyer, for example, then it certainly probably would. But in other cases, if you're into, if it's gardening or cooking or personal training or something, then a lifestyle image, which is just literally shot on your phone, can work much, much better. And again, if we I have split tests, a bit like the split test I showed you last time in last time's session when we got that big percentage increase. There's other tests that I've done which really indicate that as well. So don't worry about having to use posh images. Just anything with a nice background that kind of represents the ethos of what you do. So here for me, it's all about freedom and time flexibility and working independently. Those are some of the benefits that I enjoy in this business. It's one of the reasons people go into it. So what have I done here? Well, very simple. Again, if we duplicate it so we don't mess it up, there's the photo, all right? So that's just an upload. Here's the logo we talked about. Now this is, all this is, all right, is just some text, free training. And then what's this? Well, that is just a rectangle. So back to our rectangle that we've looked at before, and we've just popped the free training on, and Canva lines that up for us nicely, so it's perfect. Bit of text, and then that is just another rectangle. See, so you end up using rectangles a lot, and there are different versions of this. So I've created different shapes. These were for split tests in Facebook ads, so I can see which variations of the ads tend to convert better. So there's a different image. I've adjusted that to the side. Here's one with a black background, which, if I remember correctly, this works pretty well, actually. Surprisingly, I thought that the lifestyle images with the nice vacation-like images in the background would work better. But these, again, it's what catches the eye. So sometimes just black, if it's different to this color scheme on Facebook or on the website that you're advertising on, that just catches people's eye. So it's something that's unusual, a pattern interrupt, if you like, that you're often looking for. It's not the most beautiful image that wins the day. It's the one that's most eye-catching and then engaging. So eye-catching because it looks different, possibly in this case because we've got a totally black, pitch black background. But then it's engaging because we've got a very simple message. Learn to consistently attract new coaching and consulting clients. That's it. And we've given it a name, the minimalist method. So what that does is put in people's mind, okay, there's a method out there that you don't yet know. Click here and you can find it out. Okay, so that creates some curiosity as well. So those are kind of some very, very basic marketing building blocks. We'll get more into this in future sessions. So there we go. That's really it. All right, so I'll delete that. Now let's have a look. What else can we look at here? So what about this one? Now these are product images. We've looked at a book cover, which is a product, obviously. It's a digital product in the case I showed you. But of course, you can also have online courses and coaching and all sorts of things that we'll start looking at, by the way, next week. We're going to get into that starting Tuesday after the weekend. But for now, these are just very simple products, all right? And the way where I've used those mainly is just on here. All right, it's a bonus package for Thrivecart. And look, you can see these images. So where were these done? They were all done in Canva. So if you look back here, let's decompose this one. What we've got first of all is this frame. All right, now again, this is just an element. So if we go to elements and I go to, what would that be? Phone, maybe. You can see you've got various ones. All right, now I can't remember, maybe, was it this one? No, but I can pull that out there and use that. No, so there are, I can't find the exact one, but these are some of the elements that you can use. There's also another site which we didn't talk about last time called Icon Finder. Again, there's some paid and free things on here. If you look at the free ones, yeah, so there's a few icons on here. So there's nothing stopping you grabbing one of these. If you like that one, for example, you could grab that, download it, upload it to Canva, and you've got your frame there. So if we get rid of the frame, what else have we got? Well, we've got this, all right, which is essentially another background, or actually not a background, but another element. So let's see. I don't know if we can find this. No, actually, if I search for backgrounds here, yeah, maybe one of these. Let's try this. Yeah, so one of these probably. So let's have a look. Is this it? Not quite. But you can see, so you can pull out all of these. There's so many of them. Honestly, there are so many. And you can, or maybe it was marble. Maybe you have to search for marble. So you can put this in like that. Okay, now that's on top of everything else. So remember, you can go, not duplicate. Just do Control Z to go back. We can change the position. So I can send that backwards. There we go. Now we've got a little cart image. So again, that's just, if we search for shopping cart or maybe just cart, there's loads here. So you can again just drag these in. All right, you want to change the color, that's no problem. You can change the color, you can resize it, and obviously just put that on your thing. This is obviously just text, And then that is money. So if we just search for cash or something, there you go, you've got more elements. So you can start to get a feel. So, and that's how it is, right? That's all these images are. Here's another one, right, with another image there. This is done in the same way, okay, with a sort of web page graphic down here. So that's really how you go about it. Now, finally, I will show you just very briefly these, because you're familiar with these ones. And let's just decompose this. How was this created? Well, we'll create a duplicate so we can mess it up. This is text, normal text in Open Sans Extra. This is a background, sorry, a rectangle, all right, but it's slightly transparent. So if you can see it's just a standard rectangle, but I've changed the transparency so it goes through a little bit. So let's get rid of these two. What else have we got? Well, we've got this picture. We looked at this before, how I brought that picture in, how we tweaked it to increase the contrast and give it some negative blur to sharpen it. And we also removed the background, because then obviously we've got a nice background on there as well. And the background comes from here. So maybe, I can't remember what I would have searched for here, but maybe a grey background perhaps, was it? See, maybe one of these, something. So obviously you just search around to find something you like. These ones, you see how that's under me, so it goes behind me there. If I wanted that above, I could change that position forwards and it would go over me then. So everything's on different layers. So you can change the angle like this. We can also, we're grouping them as well here, two things together. So I can just increase the size if I want to, like that. Or if we click ungroup, I can show you how it's made up. Very simply, it's just some text, and then guess what? Another rectangle. So all these are just rectangles that are slightly tilted. They've got text on them, and then that's pretty much it. Now the final thing is just, I will show you this. So there's a stripe behind me, and you might have seen this effect. It's quite a common graphic design sort of technique, just as a highlight. So guess what? Yeah, it's another rectangle. So if we wanted to do that from scratch, what we would do is just go to Elements, Rectangle, which is always there because it's so common. We'd probably go something like that, make it, oversize it effectively, I suppose. Stick it over me, and then use that to tilt it. Now obviously it needs to go under me, not over me. So we're going to go position, backwards. There we go. And then the other thing is, that's a bit, we're going to adjust the transparency like that. All right, and then it's over this online thing, so we could send that back again. Ooh. No. Send that back. Position backwards. There we go. And that's it. So that's how these things are created. So next time you see something on YouTube, there's all these fancy fun thumbnails because everyone wants to stand out. Again, it's just a pattern interrupt. It's an eye-catching thing. It's not about being beautiful. It's about gaining attention, and then from that immediately generating engagement, so people click and watch, in this case, a video on YouTube. So that is really how it goes. And really, as I say, with Canva, it is a great system. I really like it. You know, there might well be tools out there that maybe do something extra or whatever. I mean, the professionals all use Photoshop, which is way out. I mean, that's amazing, right? But it's a very, very steep learning curve, and it's extremely expensive. It's a specialist tool, right? For something like that, I would always outsource it. It's not productive business-wise. It doesn't make any kind of sense for me to get involved, or you to get involved in highly specialist things. It's like, should you learn web coding? Well, no, you shouldn't, because this is about online business. It's not about being a web coder. All right, so things like that should be outsourced to, you know, competent people. So let's have a look. And we did go straight onto the web today, so we haven't hit any slides at all. But we are going to finish with one thing, and that is this. So up until now, I think this is session 9, isn't it? And up until now, we have been doing a mindset productivity type of thing at the end of every session. Alan said at the start here that he really enjoyed the last one in the last session, which is brilliant to hear. I've had other good feedback similar to that as well. But here's the thing, none of it will make any difference to you unless you really integrate it and embed it in your daily routine. It's very easy to sit or read a book or watch what I'm doing here, or any other productivity video on YouTube or whatever you like, and get these wow moments and go, oh yeah, that's good, isn't it? All right, action breeds inspiration, which leads to motivation. Wow, yeah, I didn't think about it like that. And then within 3 days you've forgotten about it, or you remember it but you don't actually live it. So these things you've got to actually live to get the benefits. One of the biggest is right here in the middle. Physical fitness gives you the energy you need to make each day a winner. It's so true, right? I don't care if some of these things sound like cliches or you've heard them before. This is what actually works. And for that, for example, take that one in the middle. So what are you doing today that's taking you towards that? So about an hour and a half ago, I did a high intensity interval training session for about 30 minutes inside, all right, although I could have done it outside because it's a beautiful day. And I did that. I did it yesterday, Wednesday, I did it the day before, Tuesday, and I did it on Monday. I won't do it tomorrow, and I won't do it over the weekend, but I do it 4 days a week, and the rest of the time I'm still active. And that dramatically increases my productivity and my focus. Without that, everything could take me twice as long. I'd feel less calm. I'd be frustrated. I don't feel frustration at all, very rarely. So it's about tweaking these things, right? All of these, that's just one example. Tweaking these things and being conscious of that all the time. Whatever you do, even if you're not doing any kind of online business, you just, like, say, watching this for fun, which is great, you're very welcome. Even if that's the case, doing these kind of things is going to give you a happier life. It's going to get you more success in anything. So these aren't specific things to online business. They're success habits, but they do need to become a habit. They're not going to cost you any money. They're free. But you've got to do them, because most people won't. Most people who watch this will not do it, because that's the way people are. So if you do them, you're ahead. So that's the thing I wanted to really impress at this point. Rather than give you something else in this session, I just want to impress on what we've done so far. This is a collection of sessions, I think 2 through 8. So that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed this week. We really have taken the time to focus on images and graphics, and we've looked at both options, outsourcing but also doing it yourself. And you can see that you can make a decision now. You have the knowledge of how to create great graphics, whether you want to do it yourself or outsource it. It's a lot of fun. Don't forget that split test I showed you on Tuesday in the last session. They are super powerful images. And hopefully you can see from today that you can actually create these pretty quick. Once you get competent, you find your way around whatever tool you're using, then you can do these things pretty quickly, and it's quite good fun as well. All right, so hopefully that helps. Next week, we are going to change tack. We're going to start looking at what to sell online. And the sessions we've had so far are going to prepare us very well for that indeed. So we'll be referring back to a few concepts and strategies and stuff like that we've used, and rolling that forward into really looking at where the pages as well that you can use to sell on and actually bring money in. So that's all next week. Again, we'll be very step by step. We're not going to rush it. We'll be methodical, splitting things up over sessions. We've got loads of time. We are not going to rush things and spoil it. We'll be going step by step and building this up. So with that said, thank you very much for joining us this week. We'll be back next week. I'll be in the Facebook group before that. In fact, I'll be doing a little mobile phone update tomorrow. So watch out for that in the Facebook group. If you're not in there already, please do. Just click the link in the description. I'll let you in. And please do share this as well. If you could like the video, that would help enormously. Really appreciate that because it helps spread the word. Remember, this is completely free and open access. Just my kind of little small contribution during this difficult time that we're all going through. Aside from that, have a brilliant weekend and I'll see you next week. Take care.